You know that feeling, right? When one tiny mistake just snowballs into this massive regret. Well, today we're exploring that exact feeling with a short but really powerful story.
So let me ask you something straight up. Forget about the promises you make to other people for a second. What's the one promise you are constantly breaking with yourself?
For so many of us, it's these three words: I'll start tomorrow. It's kind of like the ultimate comfort blanket for procrastination. What's wild is that just deciding to start tomorrow gives our brain this little hit of satisfaction, almost as if we've already done something, but, without any of the actual work. It's the perfect trap. And that's exactly the trap we're going to look at today. And that brings us to a bit of a cautionary tale, a story about what happens when that one little broken promise becomes a daily habit. So our story is all about a student you might recognize. You know the type. Bright, full of potential, but with exams just around the corner. And like a lot of us, he had this daily mantra that he kind of lived by.
And there it is. Every single day he'd look at his books, and the promise was always the same. It's a clever little trick our minds play on us, isn't it? It makes you feel responsible, like you've got a plan, but without the messy part of, well, actually starting. The only problem? Tomorrow is always one day away.
He was basically stuck on a treadmill he built himself. His tomorrow never showed up because every time he woke up, it was just today again. He was always chasing a future that, by its very nature, was just out of his reach.
But here's the thing. That cycle can't go on forever. Every action you put off, it's like you're racking up a debt. And eventually, that bill comes due. That's when the comfortable idea of later collides tragically with the harsh reality of too late.
And just like that, the calendar ran out of days. The deadline, which always seems so far away, this abstract thing in the future, was suddenly terrifyingly real. The exam was here.
And he failed. It's blunt, I know, but it's the unavoidable truth. This wasn't one big failure on one day. It was the final, crushing result of 1,000 small decisions to just wait.
But right there, in that moment of failure, something clicked. It was the tough wake-up call he absolutely needed. He had this moment of painful but really powerful clarity. He finally got it. He understood the truth. Tomorrow isn't a real place where things magically get done. It's just a story we tell ourselves, a fantasy island we escape to when we want to avoid the hard work of today. So, okay, if tomorrow is the illusion, then what's real? The only way out is to shift our focus from that fantasy of the future to the actual tangible power of right now. The moral of the story isn't complicated, but it is incredibly profound. Just start today. It doesn't mean you have to conquer the entire world this afternoon. It just means you have to take that first step.
Really, it all comes down to two different mindsets. You've got the tomorrow mindset, which is built on this illusion of potential, but it only ever leads to inaction. Then you have the today mindset. That one is grounded in reality. It's the only place where true action can happen, and it's where all of your power actually is.
So, how do we actually escape this cycle? I mean, the idea is simple, but making that shift is everything. Let's talk about how you can start breaking that tomorrow habit for good. Okay, here it is. A simple two-step antidote. First, you have to identify your tomorrow. What is that one specific thing you're always putting off? Name it. Be honest. Then, step 2, take one single, incredibly small action toward it today. Not the whole project, just the absolute tiniest piece you can. Send that one email. Write that one sentence. Do 5 sit-ups. That's it. That is how you begin.
Which brings us to the final and most urgent question. It's not about tomorrow or even later today. As soon as this is over, what will you start in the next 5 minutes? Because that illusion of tomorrow, it gets shattered by the simple, powerful act of doing something right now.